The Pechenegs were a semi-nomadic Turkic people originating from Central Asia. Their presence was prominent in the 9th and 10th centuries, during which they held sway over vast expanses of the steppes in southeast Europe and the Crimean Peninsula. This period was marked by frequent conflicts with Kievan Rus, leading to raids and occasional large-scale warfare. The Pechenegs left a mark on various historical records, each referring to them by different names such as Bjnak, Byanik, or Bajanak in Arabic and Persian texts, and Patsinakoi or Patsanakatai in Byzantine writings. The origins of the term Pecheneg are a subject of debate among scholars. Some suggest it may have stemmed from the Old Turkic word for brother-in-law or relative, implying a connection to familial or clan relations. Others argue that it might have roots in the Tocharian language, hinting at a more diverse ethnic composition. According to historical accounts, the Pechenegs were known for their valor and nobility, particularly the Kangurs, considered the most distinguished among them. Their tribal organization, as documented by Byzantine Emperor Constantine VII Porphyrogenitos, reveals a structured society divided into 8 tribal groupings, each with distinct subdivisions. The language spoken by the Pechenegs is believed to have belonged to the Oghuz branch of the Turkic family. While their exact language has faded into obscurity over time, Mahmud al-Kashgari and other scholars suggest it was closely related to Cuman and Oghuz idioms, with unique phonetic characteristics resulting from foreign influences. The composition of the Pecheneg society was complex, with various tribes and clans contributing to their collective identity. Among them, the Erdem, Kur, and Eula tribes formed the prestigious Kinjur group, renowned for their bravery and stature in Pecheneg society. The origins of the Pechenegs trace back to the ancient Kangurs, who hailed from Tashkent in Central Asia. The Kangurs were mentioned among the subject peoples of the Eastern Turkic Khaganate, suggesting their prominence in the region. Scholars speculate that the Pechenegs' homeland was situated between the Aral Sea and the Sir Darya River, strategically positioned along vital trade routes connecting Central Asia with Eastern Europe. Constantine Porphyrogenitus, a 10th century historian, described the extent of the Pecheneg realm, stretching westward to the Siret River or even the eastern Carpathian Mountains. The territory was divided into 8 provinces, each governed by a great prince. These provinces were home to various tribes, such as Ertem, Sor, Gila, and others, each led by its respective ruler. Historical records suggest that the Pechenegs were closely associated with other Turkic peoples. References by Ibn Khordad Bey, Mahmud al-Kashgari, and other scholars affirm their Turkic heritage. Additionally, the Russian Primary Chronicle links them to the descendants of Ishmael, reflecting religious and cultural perceptions of the time. The Pechenegs' westward migration was triggered by the collapse of the Turkic Khaganate in the 8th century, leading to conflicts and alliances among neighboring tribes. They clashed with the Oghuz Turks, resulting in a shift in their territories towards the Volga River. The Pechenegs who remained behind formed alliances with other tribes, while those who migrated settled along the Ural and Volga rivers. Their interactions with neighboring powers, such as the Khazars, Hungarians, and Cumans, shaped their movements and alliances. Regular raids against neighboring territories, particularly the Khazars, prompted retaliatory attacks and further migrations westward. As the 9th century unfolded, the Byzantine Empire sought allies among the Pechenegs, recognizing their potential as a buffer against more formidable foes like the Kievan Rus and the Magyars. This alliance brought the Pechenegs into conflict with the Uzes, another Turkic group, who not only expelled them from their homeland but also seized much of their possessions, including livestock. Pressured by a coalition of Oghuz, Kimyks, and Karluks, the Pechenegs faced further displacement. However, they found a respite when the Samanids intervened and defeated their adversaries. Despite this temporary relief, the Pechenegs were pushed westward by the Khazars and Cumans, eventually driving the Magyars across the Dnieper River. The Bulgarian Tsar Simeon I enlisted the Pechenegs to repel the Magyars, a move that proved successful as they drove the Magyars out of their remaining strongholds, compelling them to migrate westward and lay the foundations for the Hungarian state. By the 9th and 10th centuries, the Pechenegs held sway over vast swathes of the southeast European steppes and the Crimean Peninsula. However, their political acumen lagged behind their military prowess, relying mostly on sporadic attacks and mercenary work for sustenance. Their conflicts with Kievan Rus dominated much of their history during this period. Raids and skirmishes escalated into full-scale wars, with occasional alliances forming between the two powers. These confrontations led to significant demographic shifts, with Slavic populations gradually migrating northward. Despite occasional collaborations, such as aiding the Byzantines in their campaigns, tensions persisted. In 968, the Pechenegs besieged Kiev and later ambushed and killed the Kievan prince Vyacheslav I. However, their fortunes waned with the rise of Vladimir I of Kiev and later Yaroslav I the Wise, leading to their defeat and subsequent replacement by other nomadic groups like the Cumans and Turks. The turning point came in 1091 at the Battle of Lvunian, where a combined Byzantine and Cuman force dealt a decisive blow to the Pechenegs, resulting in their virtual annihilation. Survivors were either absorbed by other groups or recruited by the Byzantines, with many settling in Macedonia. Subsequent clashes further weakened the Pechenegs, leading to their assimilation into various neighboring cultures, including Romanians, Bulgarians, and Hungarians. And, in the 12th century, the Pechenegs found themselves embroiled in conflicts far from their homeland. As mercenaries, they fought under the banner of the Byzantine Emperor Manuel I Komnenos, clashing with the Norman king of Sicily, William the Bad, in southern Italy. Their prowess in battle was evident at the Battle of Andria in 1155, where a group of Pecheneg warriors made their mark. However, by 1168, the once formidable Pechenegs were mentioned for the last time as part of Turkic tribes known as the Chorni Klabuki, or Black Hats. The Mongol invasion of Hungary likely decimated the Pecheneg population, yet remnants of their legacy endured. Names of Pecheneg origin persisted in official documents, with titles like Comes Bisanorum, Count of the Pechenegs, surviving for at least 2 more centuries. In 15th century Hungary, some individuals adopted the surname Bisenyo, meaning Pecheneg, concentrated mainly in the county of Tolna. These descendants carried on the memory of their ancestors. Interestingly, the introduction of Islam into Eastern Europe can be traced back to an early 11th century Muslim prisoner captured by the Byzantines. He found himself in the territory of the Bisenyos, where he spread the teachings of Islam and converted locals. By the late 12th century, accounts by Abu Hamid al-Gurnati suggest that Hungarian Pechenegs, likely Muslim, lived incognito as Christians. Meanwhile, in southeastern Serbia, the village of Pechenegs stands as a testament to the Pechenegs' enduring legacy. After conflicts with Byzantium, remnants of the tribe sought refuge in the area, establishing their settlement and leaving a lasting mark on the region. As the centuries unfolded, the once mighty Pechenegs transformed from feared nomadic warriors into a dispersed people with a lasting impact on Eastern Europe. The echoes of their legacy resonated through the adopted surnames, like Bisenyo, carried by those in 15th century Hungary. These names served as living reminders of a nomadic past that became entwined with the diverse tapestry of local cultures. In the realm of religion, the introduction of Islam to Eastern Europe took root through the efforts of a captive Muslim in the early 11th century. This missionary found himself amidst the Bisenyos, where he not only propagated the teachings of Islam, but also left an indelible mark on the spiritual landscape of the region. The late 12th century brought a curious twist to the tale, as accounts by Abu Hamid al-Gurnati hinted at Hungarian Pechenegs living in disguise as Christians. This duality added a layer of complexity to their identity, showcasing their ability to adapt to the evolving dynamics of the Eastern European landscape. In southeastern Serbia, the village of Pechenegs stood as a refuge and testament to the resilience of the Pechenegs. Having weathered conflicts with Byzantium, they established a settlement that would, over time, integrate with the local fabric of life, contributing to the rich diversity of the region. The Pechenegs, once warriors of the vast steppes, found their place in history not only through conquests and conflicts, but also through the cultural and religious threads they wove into the tapestry of Eastern Europe.